If you have an argument with someone else, there must be clear and usually opposite opinions regarding a particular matter. For example, which came first, the chicken or the egg? Or are humans innately good or evil? If you really want to settle your dispute, you would seek arbitration by approaching an independent third party who is trustworthy. However, without an impartial arbitrator, why would two parties seek arbitration? The South China Sea was peaceful and calm before the 1970s. Ancient Chinese discovered the islands and even built temples on some of them for prayer and shelter. Chinese fishermen would live on these islands during the fishing seasons hundreds of years ago. After World War II, according to the Cairo Declaration and the Potsdam Proclamation, China recovered the sovereignty of the islands with assistance from the United States. At the time, those actions were clearly recognized by the world at large. In 1958, the government of Vietnam even sent a diplomatic note to support Chinese sovereignty of the islands of the South China Sea. However, when huge amounts of oil and gas reserves were discovered in the 1970s, the situation began to change. Surrounding countries like Vietnam, the Philippines, and other countries began making territorial claims in the Spratlys, and some even sent troops to occupy features near the islands. At present, China only occupies 9 of the dozens of islets and rocks that make up the Spratlys. The rest are occupied by other countries in the region, including the Philippines. So, what are the disputes the Philippines sought a ruling on from the arbitral tribunal? The Philippines claimed that 4 geographic features controlled by China are just rocks, thus incapable of generating an exclusive economic zone, and are not entitled to a continental shelf extending as far as 200 nautical miles. However, China has never claimed these geographic features are entitled to exclusive economic zones or continental shelves. No opposite claims, no valid dispute. The Philippines asked the tribunal to judge 5 other maritime features controlled by China as low tide elevations only, therefore prohibiting them from being labeled as territorial seas, exclusive economic zones, or continental shelves. However, China has never said these features are not low tide elevations. Again, no opposite claim, no valid dispute. Regardless, the arbitral tribunal decided they have jurisdiction over this case and ruled in favor of the Philippines. The most serious accusation of the Philippines was that China's claims, based on historic rights and encompassed within its 9 dashed lines, are inconsistent with the Convention on the Law of the Sea and therefore invalid. The Philippines also sought declarations that China had violated the convention by interfering with the exercise of the Philippines' sovereign rights and freedoms. The problem is, according to the mechanism of the Convention on the Law of the Sea, which was established in the 1990s, the arbitral tribunal has no jurisdiction on sovereignty disputes. Furthermore, China has made a declaration, like dozens of other countries, that delimitation disputes are excluded from compulsory settlement of disputes, according to Article 298 of the Convention. Thus, the tribunal has no jurisdiction on the disputes concerning maritime boundary, too. Nevertheless, the arbitral tribunal still decided the request from the Philippines has fulfilled its requirements for admissibility, and again, ruled in favor of the Philippines. Even more, the tribunal concluded that the biggest maritime feature in the Spratlys, Island Itu Aba or Taiping Island in Chinese, which can sustain human habitation and commonly recognized by the world as an island, is in fact just a rock. Therefore, the Philippines can claim their exclusive economic zone far enough to include most of the sovereignty dispute features. Does this award sound controversial yet? Clearly, the only substantial dispute is over the legitimacy of the arbitration itself. When will the South China Sea once again be calm and peaceful? Pointing fingers at each other doesn't help. The only peaceful way out is through dialogue and mutual understanding.